Back from the dead, sort of. Welcome back inside the game here on the National Soccer Network. Number 297, Nate and Ryan Glinsky. Apparently, people missed us the last couple of days. We've been getting comments. We already got people jumping in the live streams. Our good friend Fabian, Dave, everybody else of the like who will be joining us here today. Welcome in. Man, with one final tune-up, a year and a half of work all coming to a head. The World Cup on the horizon, and we're talking about it here live today on the National Soccer Network. It's wild to think that we started this show as long ago as we did in the hopes of really kind of building hype, not only for the network. I think that was really important, transitioning from a Michigan-based company to a nationally based company. It was important to generate content and create talking points and all those other things, but I think in the back of our minds, a lot of it was leading up to this exact moment and getting this show to a point to where we could kind of be, I guess, a guiding light or a source to go to for what the World Cup is here in 2026, and we're exactly that. So it's wild to think it's just about here, Ryan.
It is almost here. I remember back in 2018 when we got that bid during the Russia World Cup, and we were not even in that one, and I was, kind of upset that I didn't get to see us lose in the knockouts like we normally do, and that wasn't as fun of a summer. And the whole summer I was just focused on the young crop of players that we have: Pulisic, McKennie, Adams. I think Weah was still in that mix. Sargent was in that mix. Matt Miazga. I was actually thinking about him the other day. I was like, what happened to Matt Miazga? Because I saw him in a random highlight video. I was like, man, that guy really didn't do anything. Carter Vickers, another name. Zach Steffen, who really fell off recently. But no, that is just something that I've been looking forward to. And I thought our 300th episode would actually be on the day of the World Cup starting, but it is actually, I think, 1 day shy. So it's Wednesday is the 300th episode. Maybe we just take Wednesday off and then just be like, all right, Thursday, World Cup is here, 300th episode. But I don't know. But yeah, no, it is it's an exciting time. I'm finally glad that it is on the horizon. The world's biggest tournament, the best tournament in the world every 4 years, is finally here, and I am so excited for it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a riot, and we'll talk about it coming up here in topic number one about the U.S. men's national team and some high praise from a German player, kind of going out of his way to talk about how they are a top tier team. But as we talk about, sometimes reputations are developed. Sometimes it's something that it happens because of what we've seen out of you before. So we'll talk about that coming up. We're also going to chat about Real Madrid going crazy again, spending a bunch of money, as well as Europeans just continuing to complain about the World Cup in the United States. Now it's the game times, which, I guess I get it, but it is the World Cup, right? It's played on the world scale. Also, we'll get into the USL games of the week. And then, Ryan, on the all sports side, it's not going to be, I don't know, as cozy of a conversation. Dylan Larkin announcing yesterday that he wants a trade from the Red Wings. So the hometown kid looking to get anywhere else but home. So we'll talk about that coming up in the all sports section. But why waste any time? Let's just get into topic number one while we're at it. Last tune-up game against Germany coming up tomorrow for the U.S. men's national team after winning 3-2 against Senegal leading into the 26th World Cup. And Kai Havertz actually said, we have a top team with top players. Interesting. Ryan, what did he say specifically?
Before we get into that, I will be doing a watch party for it tomorrow right here on the National Soccer Network. Game's at 2:30. I'll probably put it on at like 2:15, I guess. No, the Knicks aren't winning anything. No, more on that. By the way, some shady calls in that game. Just saying, just some shady calls. Definitely the dark magic's working. That's what I'll say from Dan Housen. Let's see, 6-0 Germany. Jeez, I don't think that's gonna happen that bad tomorrow. Anyway, Kai Havertz again. He actually played with Christian Pulisic at his time at Chelsea. Won a Champions League together. They're only American to do that. I played with Christian Pulisic together at Chelsea, and for me, he is a top player. We haven't spoken about the U.S. men's national team, but we will in the next couple of days. And then he also mentioned about Pochettino going up against Pochettino time and time again in the Premier League when he was with Tottenham. Now they have Pochettino as a coach who is a great manager for sure. It is going to be a tough game. Obviously, they play at home. They have the World Cup at home, so the fans are going to be excited, and they will want to show the fans that America is a top football country. It's going to be a tough test for us. But yeah, Kai Havertz with a lot of praise from the U.S. And I'll just say this real quick. I do think as Americans we crap on Christian Pulisic quite a bit. And I think if we took off the American the glasses a little bit, kind of the same thing when we get into the Dylan Larkin situation. I think we take off the glasses a little bit and realize that like it's not just Christian Pulisic as the issue. Like, yeah, I guess everything falls on his shoulders in terms of being the face and everything. But I think Pulisic is actually like kind of regarded as a pretty good player around the world. I know he had a horrible spring, but he got that goal yesterday and hopefully or last Saturday and gets his confidence jump started. But when it comes to Pochettino, yes, technically we do have a top manager if you're really looking at his body of work. But there's a lot of other issues that doesn't make us a top team or a top nation in terms of football. But again, Kai Havertz also is. I don't know if he's the smartest guy in the bunch because those are some bold takes. So I think that's like Stephen A. level and Skip Bayless level takes right there. We're not top players. We have top manager. I'll give you that. We don't have top players, and we're definitely not a top footballing nation. But yeah, no, it's some interesting quotes. Obviously, the game comes up to tomorrow, but Pulisic is no Landon Donovan. Technically, no. Pulisic does have all of his hair, so that is true.
It doesn't have the ring of shame. Doesn't have to do Bosley yet. So no, he's
doesn't
not
have to get
quite
to Bosley
the point
yet.
of Landon Donovan. I mean, I guess there is something to be said about not underestimating your opponents, right? I mean, what happened against Senegal, right? Like we snuck up on them to begin that match, and so maybe that's what helped the U.S. and maybe that's what Kai Havertz is trying to do here. And regarding Christian Pulisic specifically, I think we all kind of have an understanding as to how skilled and just how good he is, especially when he feels good, especially when he's not going through a drought the way that he is. And I know that immediately after scoring that goal, he's like, can everybody just shut up about it now? It's like that wouldn't be the first thing I would say, because even in that moment, you're telling us, how badly the media affects you when you're down. That's not a great thing to see from the most talented player. I just think we think he's emotional. We know how good he is. We know how talented he is. That's never been the question. Question is how does he manage his emotions and actually deliver for the U.S. men's national team? That's the biggest thing for all of us. What I'll say about this, and I think there's a difference between when you are an actual player on the field going up against other players, or if you've played with them or played against them and played in the same environment as them, you understand what they bring to the table on an individual basis. And we mentioned this, this is from an individual position by position perspective. This men's national team in 26 is far different than what it was in 2022. Talent wise, I wouldn't say, we're far improved. We're far better. I wouldn't say it's even necessarily close. The only issue is, again, as we've mentioned before, is that when the pieces don't work together, when it doesn't work as one, you don't really get a whole lot out of that. And that's always been the missing component for this U.S. men's national team. Now, as far as the fans are concerned, I think we need to stop playing games in like Texas and L.A., because the real U.S. men's national team fans are in like Cincinnati and Cleveland and some of these cities in the Midwest. Like that's where they really show up and show out and give you something. I think the reason why we're playing in front of half empty stadiums is because we're playing in Mexico's territory, where half the people don't care about the U.S. men's national team. So anyways, from a fan perspective, I think that makes a difference. But Kai Havertz knows better than anyone else about the individuals on this team and what they've done for their clubs, whether that be Weston McKennie, whether that be Flo Balogun, Christian Pulisic. But for once in our lives, is the actual product as one, good enough to make the world respect us, right? I can come on here and say that the Browns are a really talented team and they're going to go win a Super Bowl, but everyone's going to laugh in my face until that is actually something that's viable, until they actually make a run. I can't just sit here and make that comment. Yeah, they might have great individually talented players, and I know it's apples and oranges considering it's the NFL, but you get where my example is. And so that's why when we say the most important thing is to win, and that might sound like an oversimplification and the most no-duh comment ever, you don't really need a podcast to tell people that winning is important, but it does make a difference.
Saying the sky's blue.
Right, but like what is saying we have talent without anything to show for it. One elimination game? I mean, yeah, this game against Germany is important. This match against Germany is important, much like the match against Senegal, because it's an indication of what we're going to see in the World Cup. Yes, I think we're talented. Ryan, we have more players in higher leagues doing more things, even managers. I mean, Pellegrino Matarazzo, that's an American born, that are doing things that we've never seen before. And it feels like year after year. But what does that look like when you put all of those individual pieces who are very good at their clubs? What happens when you put them all together in the same room? Does it look like it looked like against Senegal, or does it look more like what we saw against Belgium and Portugal? Because those are two very different realities and two very different things that we've seen from the squad. I know Mauricio Pochettino's been, hey, let's move the pieces around, let's figure out who works where. I get that. But yes, I think he's right. I don't think he's talking out of his mind. Now, top footballing country in the world, I don't know about that. That's just such a bizarre thing to hear as an American. I always thought that I would die before we ever saw that moment. However,
wow,
do we have talented pieces? Yeah, absolutely we do. Absolutely we do.
So we got a lot of comments. We got to clean up here. So starting off in the TikTok chat, I can't read what Alex put in there because that is just too controversial at this point in our USA history. We got Kurt off the perk. Incoming Kai Havertz hat trick. I don't think he's gonna play that long, and then he goes two goals then from Kai Havertz. Parker wants to mention that Tufts Soccer is kicking off their season tour on September 5th, 2026. Shout out the reigning. That was loud. Reigning champs. I think D2, D3. We talked to Coach Desatel here.
Yeah,
not
D3.
too long ago. JV Sports Live says, I love how everyone's saying Germany is going to crush us, while last World Cup, they said the same with England. Technically, even the team that won the damn thing in 2014 only beat us 1-0 in the World Cup. So, yeah, no one really knows anything that's going on. Now, this one is for you, Nate. This one is for you from our good friend Fabian. Imagine if my Real Madrid, Knicks, Giants, and Yankees all win in 2026-27 season. Bro, I will be streaking on the Empire State Building while eating White Castle.
I'll give you the Knicks, Fabian, because I think they have a decent chance. Your Yankees just lost Giancarlo Stanton, so yeah, that's not great. And plus they're the Yankees. They'll find a way to choke it away. They always do. And then Real Madrid, I don't know. We'll talk about Madrid coming up here shortly, but I think they're kind of circling in the wind right now. I don't see that team winning anything here anytime soon.
And then
me personally,
Dave says water is wet, referring to your winning is important thing. When it comes to the U.S., this game against Germany,
yeah,
you mentioned what does it look like against Portugal, Senegal? You mentioned that. Those are two totally different setups. The Portugal one was to simply see if we could play with a back four. That's simply all it was. And everyone with a brain knew that we couldn't do that against the big boys. And Pochettino was like, let's just try it, see what happens. And then we got obliterated by them. And then we go back to Senegal going the way that we should play, and we did that. That's all I wanted to see is just us play with three at the back with two wingbacks, and it worked fine. I also don't think Senegal really was into the game at the beginning. So I want to see how does Germany get out of the gates early, especially with playing up against the U.S., Do I think we have some top players? I think we definitely have some good quality players. Adams, McKennie, Pulisic, Chris Richards even. Again, I just don't think, though, when it all comes together as a team, I don't think that we can bring it all together. And I think that comes down to what I've said. I think this is probably like a month ago now, maybe a month and a half, 2 months ago. Each big nation, whether that's England, France, Germany, Spain, they all kind of have, like, not officially, but like kind of unofficially, they have like an official team, if that makes sense. Like Spanish used to play for Real when they were winning World Cups. It was Barcelona and Real Madrid. That's all they used to play for. For Germany, it was strictly Bayern Munich, France, PSG, England. They were all in the Premier League really at the same time. Handful played together. When it comes to the U.S., we don't have two players on the same team. Like Pulisic's on a
Yeah.
different team.
Yeah.
McKennie's on a different team. Adams is in a totally different league. Tillman's in a different
Mhm.
league. Gio Reyna's in it. Like they're not together. So the only times they get together are when they play with the men's national team in training, in which there's only what 5-6 windows a year. That's really about it. And some years like this year, it's like the one of the few times that they're in the biggest tournament together. We could say the MLS, but again, I don't really want our best players playing in the MLS. That's just a proven fact. We don't want that.
Yeah.
But that is our biggest Achilles heel, and we just can't bring it all together at the same time. I don't know if they all have to play in the summer together to get something going, or all of a sudden we just get some big billionaire USA owner that tries to start up an American team overseas or something, and just like
You have
all
to
you
admit,
American
though,
players have to play in this. Like that's the biggest issue I think in my mind.
you have to admit, though, a lot of them have played together on the U.S. men's national team, like have caps together, are cap tied together, and have played together in the red, white, and blue. Not on the same club, but I think of like Dest and
But
McKennie and
since
Pulisic.
2022, they really haven't. Like they
Yeah, that's
skipped
right.
Gold
You know,
Cups.
you're
They
right.
had 3
They
games
did.
together in the Copa America. They played 4
Yeah.
together in the World Cup, and then there's just been a couple friendlies here and there. But during friendlies, I mean, you saw it against Senegal. Like certain players aren't starting, certain players are being subbed off at this time. Like the starters didn't even play
Right.
together against Senegal.
But
That's what I was kind of
af-
upset about. McKennie didn't
But
even
after
start.
after that many games to get, I realize maybe not as many since 22, but they have that history with each other. Certain players. Now, obviously, Chris Richards, I think Malik Tillman's probably in that category. Flo Balogun, with not being on the 22 World Cup roster, he's kind of a new addition to all that. But you're right. You're right in what you're saying. But they do have at least familiarity to some level. It's not like they're all complete strangers.
There was a stat before 2022 World Cup that on the field together, all 3 of them on the field together, McKennie, Adams, Pulisic, all on the U.S. men's national team at the same exact time starting a game was under 10 games. You can't build a whole bunch of familiarity during under
that's
10
hard.
games. You can't do
Mhm.
that. These players
Right.
don't play with each other enough. Yeah, you could say, well, in the youth environments and the youth national teams, you playing U17 USA youth national team compared to the World Cup is completely different.
Yeah.
It's night and day. So that is,
Yeah.
again, we can say, well, they have played a little bit together. They really haven't. I bet you they've probably played a total all 3 together probably like 20 times. And
Yeah.
that's over at least since 2018 when they truly all started to get invested with each other. So they're playing less than, 4 games a year with each other? I don't know. I just don't think that's a... Yes, they've technically played in the World Cup together. That was 4 games. They played in the Copa America together. That was 3 games. They don't really play often with each other.
Yeah, and that can certainly create an issue. But like we've talked about, it's hard to just sit here and be like, on an individual basis we've gotten so much better. If nothing comes of it, then nothing comes of it, right? The reputation
nothing
stays
happens.
what it
But I'm
is.
just saying that's an issue.
Right.
They don't play
Yeah,
together.
no, you're absolutely right. Yeah, let's
Like,
take a
they're just
break. When
running
we
around
come
with their heads
back,
cut off. And it's not like, see, here could have been a good equalizer for this all. Let's just say that our best players, Pulisic, McKennie, Adams, and then we'll throw in Chris Richards as the 4th. Those 4 players played where they are now. They're just doing their thing, whatever. But then the other 7 or the next 10, whatever, all played like in the MLS together, and they're all kind of on the same team or in the same division, or not division, conference. Then that might help us in the end because the majority of the team is playing together, but our best players are playing with the best all the time.
yeah,
But that's not the case
Yeah.
because all of them are playing like Flo's in Ligue 1. You got 2 in Serie A, 2 in the Premier League with different teams. So it's a little difficult, I think, and that is kind of, because what does every player want to play? They want to play in Europe. They want to play in the Champions Leagues. They want to play in the Prems, the La Ligas, whatever. Like Xavier Gazzo, who's 18, who looks to be a really good prospect. He spent half a year with Real Salt Lake and is like, yeah, dude, I want to go. I want to go over to Europe. I don't want to be here anymore. Like I want to try over in Europe. So it's really crazy. I said it before, with each player playing in different nations, they all know how to play the style of that nation. So when they come together, they are trying to make Spain, Italy, Germany work. Yeah, and I also think we don't have an identity. Also, as the U.S., we don't have a true plain identity. Spain, it's death by 1,000 passes. Italy, strong defensively. Clearly, that hasn't worked. England,
Mm.
just be horrible to watch, but try to win 1-0. Germany, they were just studs all over the place. I don't really know what their identity was. They were just really good together. There's a
Yeah.
really good, solid unit. But
I'm
Mexico,
guessing because it's
just fight people. That's really it. That's really all it is. Canada, just suck as humanly possible at sports. That's really about it. Those are, our identity is like we're trash, but we're kind of not trash, but like we are trash. So
It's like the Northwestern of international soccer. Like they're good for a big win every now and again, and you're like, oh hey, Northwestern, all right, they're like 4-1. They just got this big upset, and then they just like finish 6-6, and you're like, oh.
and then they play against the big boys.
Yeah.
Then they finally play against Ohio
No,
State, and it's like,
no.
oh God, this is
No, they go out and they beat like Oregon, and then they turn around the following week and lose to Maryland. Like
yeah,
that's
and then
what
they'll play.
Northwestern
Then they'll play in the
does. Yeah.
biggest game of like the last 10 years, and then get blown out. I will say though, in 2020 they had a chance of beating Justin Fields' Ohio State team, but they blew it.
Yeah, they made the Big Ten championship. I was really hoping that they would find a way to win that one. Pat Fitzgerald, man,
because that was a
Pat
horrible
Fitzgerald,
football
man.
season. 2-4.
It was.
We lost to Indiana.
It was not great. Yeah, and that wasn't the Signetti Indiana.
That was Tom Allen Indiana.
Tom Allen
who got fired
Indiana.
like 2 years later.
You can't make me hate Tom Allen though. I still love Tom Allen. I thought he was a good coach. He was just
Anything
before
Indiana
that
you like?
Right before that NIL bubble was Tom Allen. He was right there. He was right there.
Not really. He had one good COVID year, and that was really about it. And he had Michael Penix, and then Penix just went off to go to Washington, and then he threw one touchdown against Michigan in the national championship game with the number one offense, mind you.
I will never forget when Tom Allen made the team sing the fight song after they beat Akron in 3 overtimes, and it didn't look like anybody wanted it. It didn't look like anybody wanted to be in that room.
I'll have to search that one up.
We're good. Let's take a break, Ryan. When we come back, we'll talk about Real Madrid a little bit. FC Bayern summer soccer camps are a proud sponsor of the National Soccer Network, fostering football excellence across North America. Open to boys and girls of all skill levels, FC Bayern camps deliver elite training inspired by FC Bayern Munich's world-class philosophy. Select your city and start a promising soccer path. Right now, save $30 on registration by using promo code BayernNSN30. Yeah, that's BayernNSN30, or scan the QR code on your screen. Learn more at FCBayernYouth.com.
So the dream behind Irene's was simply to be a place where the community could come and gather. This is my hometown, we're raising our family here, and we just want to be a space where people can come together as a community and share a great meal. We've got golf simulators, we got pinball, live music, trivia nights, but we also have fresh, always homemade, locally sourced food, and we serve it with a sense of Gemütlichkeit. This is a German word that conveys a sense of warmth and coziness and belonging. We're excited to show off how we're growing and that this is the place to be.
We welcome you back inside the game 297 here on the National Soccer Network. Nate Wangler alongside Ryan Glinsky. Ryan, they're losing their cookies over at Real Madrid again. We keep talking about these guys every week, and they're doing something else weird. Something else is going on. And Florentino Perez talking about secret players. They're showing off a Real Madrid Holland t-shirt, which I thought is hilarious because, like, I've always imagined what would it be like to get, and we talked about it on the show, like a Bryce Harper Detroit Tigers jersey, just like try to speak it into existence. I don't know if that's how that works necessarily.
It's gonna happen,
but now,
trust me.
Now apparently Man City wants to take legal action. The circus continues. Go ahead and try to lay this one down, because it just seems like Real Madrid is not starting to lose their minds. They're losing their minds again.
I think since they haven't won a trophy in like 3 years, it feels like, oh my God, we don't know what to do with ourselves. Guys, it's all right. I think the last time they won a trophy, I think I was working a Lansing Lugnuts game, fun fact. They actually got rained out, and I had to do a doubleheader on Sunday.
So you and Adam weren't too happy about that. So no one was
probably
happy
not
in the building that
probably
night.
not. I
You'll never walk alone, Ryan, ever. You'll never walk alone. Just remember that.
After spending $500 million and not winning anything, yes, I will never be alone. There's another thing I was gonna say about that situation. Anyway, I forgot. If it comes back to my mind, I was the first time ever PA'd at Jackson Fields. It's because of the rain delay. They had a doubleheader. The guy couldn't do the doubleheader, and they're like, "Ryan, you have PA experience, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "You want to do it?" I'm like, "Sure." Instead of standing in center field with a camera getting beamed with sun all day. Yeah, no, technically.
Who were you guys playing that night?
Couldn't tell you.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I don't remember. Anyway, yeah. So not Fabrizio. I'm reading his tweets to try to find the players. But yes, Florentino Perez is he's off of his rocker, man. This guy is, I don't know. They're losing their minds over at Real Madrid. But yesterday, obviously, the whole presidential thing becoming like a debate or whatever it is. I don't know. I really don't know how they do business over there. It seems to be completely crazy. But yesterday, he said that if he wins the presidency, he will bid for a 150 million euro player. He's a Galactico. That's what he said. He's like, this player's young. He's a Galactico. No one will ever beat him or whatever. But then all of a sudden the journalists are like, just start randomly shouting names. They're like, is it him? Is it him? So they said Jeremy Doku. He said no. Is it Harry Kane? He said it no. Erling Haaland? No. Is it Michael Olise? No. So they started chanting all these random names, and they were like, no. It was 2 years ago. Okay, appreciate it, Fabian. We got Konate. Konate's trash, dude. I hope you realize that Konate is horrible. Did you see what he did with France the other day? Dude, that's not a flex there, my guy. And then all of a sudden, they're like, this was the other day. I think this was before that. So there's someone that's running for the presidency at Real Madrid. It's almost like in a political election. Running for the presidency is this guy, but this guy said this. So the Real Madrid just does stuff backwards sometimes. This Enrique guy puts up a Erling Haaland Real Madrid jersey, as you mentioned, and then all of a sudden they're like, Man City and Haaland want to take legal action. That's ironic, don't you think, in this whole situation? Because you've got 115 reasons why you probably should not take legal action on this situation. Just saying. But then you got this all going on, and then you got Real Madrid going on, and I just still think, even though they have the right manager in charge, and I'm sure that they'll get the right mentality, I still think you can't fix this mess. I still think you can't fix this Real Madrid mess. Why? Because you still got the crazy man running things as the president, Florentino Perez. Because I don't think that you can fix this mess. I think that they are too, into this ego and everything, where I don't know if money can necessarily solve everything. Newsflash, Real Madrid, in the grand scheme of European soccer, it's no longer just you in Barcelona. There's actually some really, really good sides going the rest of the way. Man City I wouldn't say anymore. You've got Arsenal. You've got PSG, who's currently back-to-back champions right now. You have Bayern Munich that you lost to. And I'm just saying, by the way, you lost to Arsenal last year on free kicks. Jeez, that was one of the greatest days I've ever had watching soccer. But look, you guys are not the same anymore. You could bring the band back together. I think still signing Jose Mourinho was the best thing that you guys could have done. It was the right thing to do. However, I think you guys are just on the verge of just not being fixable at this point in your guys' careers or in terms of your history. I don't know if you guys can come back because Mbappe's also still there. He's had so many issues. You still got Chouameni. You still got Valverde. You still got Carvajal. There's just too many issues with this club that I think you are on the verge of not being able to be fixed. And man, am I just loving it. I just love that Real Madrid. Arsenal, Fabian, last time I checked, Arsenal beat Real Madrid. Both times, actually. Remember? Remontada. Yeah, and then Bukayo Saka just showed up and delivered. So there you go. That's what I'm saying. No.
You know what?
I don't know. I just think the Spanish clubs are just, from where they were when I was watching them growing up, like they were like the greatest things ever. But since the 2020s, man, it's...
Yeah, isn't ego a funny thing? It kind of, it's almost as if like you get in your head.
I just think this
that,
whole topic
you
is
run
ironic.
Things.
Because you got Man City suing people for legal reasons. And then you got Real Madrid who are just like, their ego is too big. Like, even if you were to make like a little remark, like the tiniest little knock at them, they'll, no, it's not. No, Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Stop
They don't need us. Yeah.
Fix things.
They don't need a secret player. What they need is Flex Seal. This feels like a good opportunity for like a commercial for Flex Seal, right? Because you just continue to throw Band-Aids. Yeah. On any
I
single
just
open
saw this
wound that
club
you're
in
like,
half.
Hey, yeah, let's just add another player. Let's just add a mystery player. And all of a sudden that will be the key to the kingdom. You know what I mean? It's like finding a hobby and think that you're going to become famous for it and that'll finally take you out of like the mundane 9 to 5. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to learn the drums and then that's going to take me to the top. You know, no, okay? Like, your Flex Seal and you're trying to plug up holes on a sinking ship is not going to, number one, save your club, and number two, bring you back to championship caliber. Like, it's wild to assume and to think that. And so you're right. I think the leadership at Real Madrid is too unstable to make anything sustained, to make a sustained run. And just because you're adding another talented piece does not automatically mean that this ship is going to turn around. And so I think right now they're not only is Real Madrid in a tailspin, but when you have a leader like Florentino Perez and what we've seen out of him, you know, it has a sense of your hands are kind of tied behind your back if you're this club. If you're a player, absolutely I'll take the money. You know, it really doesn't, I guess I wouldn't say it doesn't matter, but for some players, the organization itself matters a little bit, yes, but I think what matters more is that if you're going to compensate me to the extent that I'm sure they're willing to, yeah, I'll take it. And any top player would be crazy not to take that money. But again, with Florentino Perez and the way that he's operate and the tangents he's going on and the secret player and 150 million, there is no genuine nature to the way that this organization is run. It's like, let's just throw darts at the dartboard. Let's just try everything we humanly can and just see what sticks and just see what works. You might have a little bit of success, but there's no such thing as creating something sustainable in that model. And the fact that, again, Spain didn't select a single player from Real Madrid and the general tone and the environment around this club. And I actually posted a video about it on our social media, and it seemed like people were actually kind of in cahoots on what I was saying. It's not going to fix anything. The Man City portion of this, I do think is funny because of the 115 fair financial play conversations we've had. I mean, it just seems like if they're going to go out and sue anyone, it seems like a coffee calling the kettle black kind of situation. Like, hey, you know, here's a mirror, look in it, like we've talked about. But with Florentino Perez running things, again, this is just, it's only going to continue to get worse because you can't just throw money around and expect that to change everything. Like, this is why we even talk about like, American sports franchises having the culture and the vision are all important things. And then adding on top of that and going out and making big splashes in free agency are big, but you need the two components to do it. Real Madrid doesn't have the two components right now. They don't have a dressing room that is conducive to winning. They're not in an environment right now. The fan base is besides them. So they are not in a good space mentally. However many million signatures they got on that petition to, exactly, right? Like, we can go back to that conversation. It is a mess. And so just because you add another player on top of that, I mean, if you put a cherry on, I'm not gonna put that. That's a bad analogy.
So,
but anyways, you get where I'm going with this.
a couple announcements. We will get to hockey at some point in this one, but this is going to be our first mention of hockey. Parker says biggest announcement to our season opener is Zdeno Chara going to be there at the Tufts game. Okay, Zdeno Chara, haven't heard that name in a long time.
Man, the
Boston
giant
Bruins
himself.
stud.
Yeah, he's a monster of a man. Imagine playing against someone who's over 7 foot on skates. It's like Wemby in hockey terms.
Yeah, but also
terrifying.
built unlike Wemby is like
Built. Yes, and like can throw a punch and all that stuff. Yes, terrifying. Absolutely terrifying.
Fabian, Florentino's threatened to lose the presidency, and now he is working to steer the team back to winning. Here's where I'll tell you where Real Madrid is right now. They are a failing dynasty that is trying to keep themselves relevant and try to win one last championship. I think they realize that the ship is kind of sinking a little bit, and they're going to try everything in terms of PR, publicity, in order to get things running. I think that they are realizing that, man, we just don't have Ronaldo, Benzema, Bale, Modric, Kroos anymore. We have a whole bunch of self-centered millionaires who don't truly care about this club as we think they do, and we are going to try everything we can possibly do to save this. You can say 15 Champions Leagues all you want, Fabian, but if you look at the last couple of years, you guys have been a mess. It has been a disaster. And it's not, again, if you were to lose in the Champions League and you lost kind of, normally, I guess, and you didn't have all this off the field stuff, but you do. And that's the scary part. See, like Real Madrid used to lose in the Champions League, all the time. But they were like, all right, let's just go again. Let's spend $200 billion and let's go again. But other than that, but you didn't have Ronaldo fighting Gareth Bale. Like that didn't happen.
Yeah. Well, you don't think Florentino Perez knows that a hard reset is coming? With the way that he's been acting.
That's why.
And I said this a month ago. He hears the footsteps. He knows that hard reset is coming. And that's a really hard thing to accept if you're Real Madrid. Because, again, as a proud dynasty in a franchise, it is so much easier to just put that flex seal on and be like, this is still working, right? Like, I'll put the duct tape on my shoes that'll help them hold up for a few more weeks. You know what I mean? Like, it's exactly where we are right now.
They're like what the Warriors have been doing since KD left. Oh, D'Angelo Russell, Jimmy Butler, Kelly Oubre. We're going to trade for him, but we're going to keep the core pieces, just try to keep this thing afloat. Yes, they did win a championship, but so did Real Madrid. I think actually no, because Warriors won it and then Real Madrid won it. So it's like kind of the same thing.
Right.
But the issue is the Warriors aren't like, they used to fight each other sometimes with Draymond and stuff. They did more on the field rather than off the field. But the issue with Real Madrid is they just have all the off-the-field issues. When is the next U.S. men's national team game? It is tomorrow against Germany, 2:30. Dave, in other news, Scotland teams opts against wearing kits to their World Cup opener. By the way, didn't Scotland release their World Cup song? I think I saw something with John McGinn on it. Hopefully you approve of it, which, by the way, the Bosnian one is so sick. Literally just like the Salvatore Ganacci song, just with more than 5 different words, unlike the Salvatore song. But no, I just think that they need a quick reset. I just think they can't admit that this club is kind of going down the wrong path, and they just don't want to admit it yet. I think that's just the whole thing.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And it's hard. And like I said, it's hard. And if the reset comes, that might mean Florentino Perez might be out. But they're going to have to stage a mutiny in Real Madrid in order to make that happen. They're going to have to come with pitchforks and all that other stuff to get him out of town because he ain't going. Like he's already gone full Wolf of Wall Street and been like, I'm not leaving. Instead, everybody is not cheering. They're like, oh, boy. Unless you're Fabian. Fabian completely is drinking the Kool-Aid. He's in on the plan.
Yeah,
he's like, this thing's
going to happen, make a couple quick
quick
transfers, everything will change. I think it's a little bit deeper than that.
just a touch.
It's like
just a touch.
It's
deeper
like
than
the
that.
it's like
Yeah.
the Avengers thing. The world has changed. The
Mhm.
best we could do is just to start over. That's what Real Madrid should do.
Just start over. Start from the
You
beginning.
got Kylian
Good poll,
Mbappe
by the
going,
way.
we just need to start over. No, actually, there'll be more Trent. Trent be like, we just need to start over. Best we could
Oh,
do. Start over.
good- my man. Good reference today. He's down with his I've never seen that movie, and I feel bad saying I've
You've never
seen that movie,
Endgame?
but no.
Oh my God. What have you
No.
been doing for the last 10 years?
I don't know, man. I've also never seen any of the new Star Wars movie. Are you a Star Wars guy?
Oh my God. Dude, what do you do in your free time?
A lot of weird stuff, man. You don't want to know.
Oh my God.
Just kidding. Yeah, so maybe we do like a movie night.
Are you
know, when
serious?
I'm over
You've
there
never
next, you
seen
know?
Avengers Endgame?
Mm-mm.
See, the Star Wars new ones, it's like that's fine. But everyone has definitely seen at least one of them.
Yeah.
But you're telling me you've never seen Endgame?
Mm-mm.
Oh my God.
No. So, hey,
Wow.
we're gonna. Yeah.
Wow.
So I can make that my homework over the weekend if
I've
you want. And then I
never-
can report back on my
I've
findings on
never-
Monday.
I've never heard anyone say that. So, have you seen any of the MCU then?
Yeah.
But you watched
just-
it all, and it led up to one thing. It's like watching. It was probably like watching Michigan football in 2023. Oh my God, they just beat Alabama. Yeah, I'm just not gonna watch the national championship game. Like what?
It's building
Ant-Man-
the suspense. I'll tell you what.
That's not what happens, Fabian. That's not what happens. Ant-Man gets tiny, but dude, Dave, Fabian, they can't believe it, man.
I'm sorry, guys. Genuine. Okay. All right. I got homework now. I gotta go watch this
Oh my
movie.
God. We might have
I'll
to
get
have
back
we
to
might
you
have to
guys.
have a segment because obviously, the World Cup saves us a lot in terms of the content we can talk about. But we're
Yep.
into the dog days of
Yep.
summer. We might have to have a show where Nate just breaks down the movies because we've ran out of
All right.
sports things to talk about because nothing's happening in the summer besides the Tigers sucking at baseball.
Yep. All right, so we'll get into that. Don't worry, guys. I'll get on that. I promise. So, let's take a break. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit about Europeans complaining about game times as if they
Oh
haven't
my
complained
God.
about everything else already.
Funny clip from
but
Barstool
we'll
about
talk.
that too. It's kind of good.
We'll chat about that on the other side here on Inside the Game.
Experience the thrill of the game like never before with NSN's Game Rewind. Dive into full match commentaries enhanced with cutting-edge dynamic graphics, letting you relive the highs and lows of your favorite matches in astonishing detail. Whether it's a championship win or a legendary play, NSN Game Rewind bridges the past and future with a broadcast experience designed to captivate. Call 586-304-4405 and start watching today.
Inside the Game, back live across your airwaves, 297 here on the National Soccer Network. appreciate your guys' patience with us this week. Taking a little time off here before the final show of the week today.
Yeah, we have
getting
like
into
no days off for the next the next over 2 months. So bear with us, people. Bear with us.
Yeah.
We're gonna be like,
I feel like
we're gonna be at the end of the World Cup, and it's gonna be like, welcome back to Inside the Game.
I haven't had a day off in the last well, a few mixed in there, but yeah, that's the life, man. I mean, sports is it's 24/7. It never stops. So I mean, if anybody out there is thinking about working in sports, just keep in mind that's just how
Especially if you work in baseball. That's
oh yeah, it's
you get Mondays off if you work in the minor leagues.
not on the National Soccer Network though, because we got inside the game. So
if you strictly just work in minor league baseball, you get Mondays off.
There you go.
And
there
then
you go. Which honestly,
it's
better. Yep. Well, and it's
unless for some reason
be...
some little league baseball team is playing at the stadium on the off week, and they got to run the clock.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly. Yep. Or some sort of college game or concert
or
anything else like that. So
that was the best part about CMU baseball is there were no lights on the field, so you could not start a game past like 4:00. It was so awesome, and I was like, thank God. Which been a lot of early mornings, but it was worth it because I was home by 2:00 doing who knows what.
That's funny. Past 4:00, really. I guess that makes everything easier, right? I mean, I guess you got to have some decent lights to be able to do that. But let's get into this final topic here. I guess we got to talk about the games of the week, but very quickly before we get into that, we'll get into that on the other side. Barstool clip that we have loaded up on Europeans apparently complaining about game times in the 2026 World Cup. Just another thing they're complaining about, but here it is.
Europeans are on the hot seat for being bitches.
Yeah, Europeans don't want to come over and pay.
They're mad about the times.
They're mad about the times.
I don't give a fuck about that.
Yeah,
I'm
I know.
pumped.
I know.
Good.
Every other World Cup, it's on your watch. This one's on ours.
Yeah. Hey, Europeans, why don't you shut the fuck up? We got to watch Jaguars Panthers at 8:30 in the morning.
Yeah,
that's nice though.
It's not nice.
Now take your Dolphins Giants and.
I will say I hate the NFL European games. I think they're so stupid. Football's on all day.
Agree.
What do you mean? Shut up.
Yeah, and it seems like everyone's kind of in cahoots on that. Like no one really sees the point. I mean, what are you trying to accomplish by doing that? Also, you're taking a game away from the American audience, like you said before on our show, which is the biggest thing. But I mean, hey, welcome to our world of watching European soccer, football, whatever you want to call it. I mean,
15 years.
Forever.
I'll wake up at 7:30. And when I was in school, I definitely was not waking up at 7:30 to watch those games.
Yes. I mean, I'm going to a pub at like 10 o'clock, and there's like, it's filled out with people watching like a match because that's how the viewing experience for Americans when it comes to European soccer has always been. And we just had this conversation before the show began, which I think is funny and ironic. And again, it plays into everything we're talking about. And we've mentioned it when it comes to the popularity of the sport in the United States, that yes, it is popular, but the majority of American viewers are not watching American products, whether that be MLS, whether that be USL, whether that be college soccer or high school soccer or what have you. They're not watching them. They're watching the European game. And what have they been doing for pretty much their entire lives? Getting up at ridiculous times to watch games. What did we just do for not that this is different, but what did we just do for the gold medal game in hockey that was in Italy? I had to get up at 7 a.m. to watch the gold medal game. And yes, I was happy to do it. Despite what Ryan will tell you, I was happy to do it. It was just early. That's all I'm saying. I was just tired. That's all. But I was happy to be there. But it happens, right? And so it is the World Cup, which means, right, until obviously next World Cup rolls around and every single country that there is involved in it, and then we have games all over the world or whatever the hell they have planned. I don't even know what the issue is there. It is going to be played somewhere in the world where times are not convenient for everybody involved. And so if you want to point at, playing surface or nitpick any of the other things that you've complained about, sure, but this is the World Cup and it's here. So deal with it, right? Like, I don't care that you don't like the times. I don't care. Like, it's just another in a long list of all the things that they've already complained about. It's just another thing. Also, what is the difference between that and watching your second favorite sport, which is the National Football League? What's the difference? I mean, you get up and watch NFL games, right? You get up and watch football on Sundays, just like the rest of us. So what's the difference between that and this? Of course, you'll never admit that, right? Because not right now. You're going to act all big and tall because, oh, it's World Cup time. But once World Cup is over, you're going to go back to watching, I don't know, the Miami Dolphins, whatever team you just decided to choose. Probably a New York-based team, the majority of them. But Europe to the USA, this World Cup is like a younger, insecure brother to an older brother. They're going to find everything they can to just nitpick about this World Cup. And honestly, at a certain point, you know, especially with getting as close as we are now and seeing the final preparations of what it looks like, it's going to be fun. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be a great World Cup. Like all the, especially in the comments sections, like the people, the nameless, faceless profiles that are like, this is going to be the worst thing ever. It might be time to take a vacation or just take a walk, because I understand we have our issues as a country, but I think we are perfectly capable of hosting this. And from everything that I've seen, it's going to be great. And listen, if you don't like the times the games are at, I don't know, deal with it. I don't know what to tell you. I really don't.
So, a couple things that I want to say on this. First off, they don't understand college football tailgating, which is 7 a.m. If the game's at noon, it means you're up at 7 and you got to get ready to go to the day. And then if you go to Central Michigan, you don't even make it into the football games, because why would you spend time and your time, actually, because you get in for free. I was going to say money, but you get in for free if you're a student. So, they don't understand that aspect. I am just oh, look at this guy, Dave. This is why we like Dave. Which, by the way, David in our TikTok chat has been liking the stream. Appreciate you, David. But Dave, I don't mind it. I've been watching our games at 8 p.m. Then there is a UPSL game on at 11 p.m. Then a USL game on at 1 a.m. My sleep pattern is a mess anyway. So we got Dave out here watching. We'll get you to USL. Parker, like you live too. Appreciate you. He still can't. Parker doesn't believe that Nate hasn't watched Endgame yet. But
sorry.
We'll get to the USL game of the weeks here shortly. There's some really good ones here this weekend. But again, I think that Europeans just do not, again, because I've been getting this comment a lot recently, especially with the Arsenal video that I think went crazy, at least on Instagram. I've been getting this comment a lot, and it's stupid Yankees can't talk about football like this. You guys just your takes are irrelevant. I don't think I've ever, gone to a European and said, "Wow, man, you can't talk NBA basketball, you can't talk NFL football or MLB baseball because you're not from here." I've never said that. I am just simply convinced that the Europeans just think in their mind already, because they already hate America, and they realize that if America becomes good at the game of soccer, that they don't know what to do with themselves. I think that they are just fully scared. Let me start this so the clip gets on social media easy there. Europeans are scared about this World Cup being hosted in America, because if this cultural impact, because we've already seen Americans make their way overseas and do well, McKennie, Pulisic, Adams, Richards, etc., that if this cultural phenomenon that we see with the World Cup affects the U.S. the way it did in '94, where it created a league, it jump-started everything, and all of a sudden we then move the needle to all of a sudden the USA men's national team starts contending because so many kids are cultivated by what they saw on their TV screen in the summer of 2026, and they want to be a part of it. And then all of a sudden, the USA in like 10 years or 8 years is like all of a sudden in the contention of winning the World Cup. The Europeans don't know what to do with themselves. Because if we dominate the game of soccer, they won't know what to do with themselves. They will not, this is our sport. What do you mean? I just think that they hate that we are involved with soccer so much this summer, that we are hosting the World Cup, that they automatically think it's stupid. Like, oh, no, it's dumb. It's dumb. Yeah. It's like a Michigan fan. Like, all of a sudden, an Ohio State fan is, producing this thing for their work or whatever. No, it's stupid. Automatically, it's dumb. They automatically hate it. Europeans see what's going on in the World Cup. And this is probably going to be the best World Cup of all time in terms of views. It's got more games, the most money that's ever going to be made. And if it's a successful World Cup, they're going to hate it. But they automatically don't want to assume that this is going to be a good World Cup. They automatically, it's like one side sees it one way, automatically they look the other way and say, no, it's not. USA will say, oh, the sky's blue. No, it's not. It's green. The Europeans don't want to see this World Cup be successful because it's their game, not our game.
Yeah.
That's the full reason is. That's why there's so much complaining. Look, the World Cup can happen at South Africa, Brazil, Russia of all places. It can happen with the U.S. It'll be completely fine. Puerto Rico plays Saudi Arabia tomorrow. Did not know that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. 'Cause
It
Puerto
is,
Rico's not in the World Cup, so they're probably playing. Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
But it's not just, I wouldn't say it's just an insecurity thing. It also comes back to, the other reasons why, maybe they don't like America.
Disrupts their day.
Fine. Yeah, it does.
Damn it,
but
I
they
watched
somehow find a way
3-seed
to-
Michigan in March Madness at 10 o'clock because we had to please the West Coast.
Yeah.
School
Well,
the
the thing
next
is,
day
like,
was pretty abysmal because I'm half asleep through half the day.
You're still going to watch it, though.
Exactly.
Right? Like,
It's weird
you're
how it
still
works.
Gonna watch it, though. Like, this is, stop pouring negative energy into things that is not going to change. Like that's the advice here today on the National Soccer Network on 297. Stop pouring so much energy into things that are not going to change. You're still going to get up, you're still going to watch the matches, and even if you don't, you're probably going to record it and watch it back later, which, by the way, that's such an antiquated thing now because everybody knows what the result is by the time that happens. Like I've seen people that are like, I'm going to record it and then I'm gonna watch it back, and I'm like, no, you're gonna go. Don't go on social media. Then you don't go on X, don't go on TikTok, don't go anywhere because you're gonna see it. It's the first thing you're gonna see when you pull it up. I just thought it was funny because people used to record things and then watch it back later, but now that's like, that don't happen anymore. Yeah, now you can't do it, but just stream it on your phone. If you're working somewhere, I don't care.
If I can sit in my dorm room,
we gotta watch March. Yeah, exactly.
If I can sit in my dorm room as a sophomore in college while finals are going on, wake up at 5 a.m. to watch Saudi Arabia beat Argentina, I think you guys can get up at whatever time it is to watch you guys lose a 1-0 game in the World Cup knockouts because that's what you guys always do. I'm talking about England mainly. But you guys, it's okay. For once in your life, you guys are not the center of attention. European soccer fans, it's actually in America. Coming to America. Like, why don't you guys come fly over? Why don't you come fly over and watch it for yourselves? Why don't you do that? Because then you'll be able to watch it in the middle of the day. Mind you, the USA plays a game at 9 p.m. Eastern time. We're still gonna watch it. We're gonna be up till 11 a.m. And probably we'll probably up past like 1 a.m. because we got to make stupid TikTok videos and watch parties and stuff. So we'll be up late. It's fine, guys. It's okay.
Uh-huh.
It's okay to be a little bit out of your comfort zone watching games. I wake up at 7 a.m. to watch stinking Arsenal play for 10 years. It's all right. 15 years, rather.
Yep, and
it's okay.
I realize we're comparing two completely different things, but it does have like a March Madness vibe to it too. Like as in like, I'm watching it in the classroom or I'm watching it in the workplace or I'm watching it on the laptop. Listen, guys, it's just how it goes. Okay. It's in the US. You've known it's been in the United States. So why, it's on our time. Like Big Cat says, it's on our time. Deal with it. We play this sport too. We might not play it to the level that y'all play it.
Stinking NFL games on at 8 a.m. You think I want to watch the Lions lose at 8 a.m.?
Exactly.
No. I'd rather, to be honest with you, I'd rather just have the 1 p.m. kickoff in terms of the NFL. Like I don't like the Lions being on Sunday Night Football, man. It's so annoying.
We opened the NBA to you guys. We've opened up the NFL to you guys. We've brought Major League Baseball over there. Okay. Just give us soccer. There's just this one summer, all right? Like, well, it's okay. We'll take care of it. We'll make sure that the sanctity of the sport remains, and we're all gonna have a fun time at the World Cup. But just relax, okay? And these things that you don't like about the US, fine, whatever, but don't dump that on like normal 9 to 5 everyday people. Like we're sports fans like everybody else, and we just want to see a good tournament. And I do think genuinely it is going to be, albeit maybe a little bit of a culture shock. I've been kind of a little bit surprised as to like the reception when it comes to the World Cup, because I think we talked about like this big buildup, which there has been in some ways in soccer circles, yes, but not as much in everywhere that you look. But like I said, once that first match is played, I think that's when it'll finally be like, oh wow, like this is cool.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. I was gonna say what Ian Wright mentioned on his Overlap podcast or whatever, because the question was, is this going to be the worst World Cup ever because it's in the United States? And Ian's like, because he's an Arsenal fan, he's logical, he understands things. He's like, this is the issue every World Cup. Everyone wants to complain about everything. Look at South Africa, look at Qatar, look at Brazil. Like, Brazil almost was like in a national debt because they hosted this damn thing. Qatar had their issues and probably thousands of issues.
Yeah.
Kevin Arnold back in the chat. Morning, boys. Obviously been a busy week so far. Getting a chance to check back in. We appreciate you, Kevin, and congrats on the AL Central championship. Actually, don't let the Tigers get hot. We got 3 straight wins. Don't let us get hot. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. No, we're cooked. We're cooked. What was I gonna say? He's like, once things get underway, everyone seems to forget about what's going on because you're in the moment, you're watching the product. It's something that only happens every 4 years. You can say you hate it all you want. You could say, hate this country, hate this and that, but guess what? You're still going to watch the World Cup. It's still going to generate probably tens of billions of views. I don't know how, like, you could say thousands and millions of views or like hundred thousands of views. I don't know how to say I was going to say like 10 billion, but like tens of billions of views. I don't know. Because like if a final could generate over 1 billion views, can't imagine what the whole tournament itself is going to generate in terms of views. But no, billions of people are going to watch this thing, and I'm talking 10 plus billion of people are going to watch this thing. So actually there's not even 10 billion people in the world. I don't know what I'm talking about here now. There's like 7 billion people in this world, period. Or 8 billion people. I don't think there's 10 billion people. But the views of every single game.
8.3 billion.
Huh?
8.3 billion.
Yeah, we're not even 10 billion.
8.3 billion.
Well,
yeah.
We'll say, because the views will obviously be more, combined will be more than 8.3 billion. But I shouldn't say that 10 billion people are going to watch this thing.
FIFA reports 10 billion people watch the World Cup.
Oh my God, really? Who was watching? The animals? The animals were watching?
Yeah,
Babies in the womb that haven't been born yet? People in the graves?
It just means more, man. It just means more.
Means more in America.
That's
all of a sudden, the South has all the views in the world. It just means more, man. All of a sudden, Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and Baton Rouge, Louisiana, the most viewed games of all time. Why? It means more.
Oh man, Alabama soccer becomes bigger than Alabama football.
Oh God,
could you imagine? Could you imagine if we had like Alabama like soccer playing in that sold out stadium with like the tailgating and all that stuff?
If
that was soccer,
Jordan Hare actually has a couple of tune-up games here in the States this upcoming week.
Really?
Yeah, so I'm curious this weekend. I'm curious what'll that all entail, because I mean, I highly doubt a international soccer game has ever been played there. So I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden,
I would guess.
I can't imagine Alabama soccer, which is funny this week because Nick Saban's out on podiums trying to speak about the integrity of college athletics and this and that. Hey Nick, how did you get like Derrick Henry and Mark Ingram to your school? Just curious how that all happened, Nick. Just saying.
Yeah. I don't. College sports. I realize we're getting a little. I know we got to get into our all sports topics, so may as well. But college sports is such a. It's filled with hypocrites everywhere that you look. You know what I mean? Like I would never take morality lessons.
I got it from him.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And like, well, they were doing it too, so we did it. I mean, even with like the Michigan thing, like I if you want to say that Michigan cheated, then yeah, I mean, there's certainly a precedent there, but like, did everybody else was just completely innocent of this? No one else was stealing signs, right? Like, I think you'll do whatever you can to get an advantage. And when it comes to paying players, yes, I think they certainly did that in one way or another in the SEC. I watched Last Chance U, have watched Last Chance U, and I remember those JUCO guys talking about like, yeah, I mean, if you go Division 1, major Division 1, like, you leave and you'll come back a couple of months later back to your hometown to see everybody, and you'll be like 50 pounds heavier with more jewelry and a new car. And it's like, where do you think that stuff came from? You think that came from them just going and getting an education? No, like they went to Bama and they came back with a freaking with a freaking Hellcat. Like, where do you think that came from? You think that came from the education? No, like clearly there was money under the table. So, but if there's no proof, if there's no solid, I don't know. Maybe he was just so good at running a tight ship that they never got caught. But anyways, let's take another break.
Real quick. Fabian says, Piston fans are old, disgruntled Knick fans. Fabian, unlike Knicks fans, the Pistons fans have actually seen championships since 1973. So, and especially this century as well. It hasn't been, 50 years without a championship? Just putting it out there. I know we gotta get the game of the week.
The last time.
The Knicks. Whoa! But our championships are worth more than a Michigan championship. Okay, he's just kidding. I'm about to say, the Wolverines. They brought. Oh, I know Kevin. If Kevin's still in the chat, even the Cavs have won a championship more recently than the Knicks.
Yeah, 2016. What a time to be alive.
Shout out Kyrie.
What's funny? Cleveland, and I think I said this before, Cleveland nearly had 2 major titles in 1 year in 2016.
The Indians. Technically, they were the Indians. I can say that.
Yep, at that time. Yep. So man, what happened, Kevin? What is going on, man?
The Browns had a good run there for a second. They won a playoff game or two.
They did. Am I on the Barca Academy, Reed?
Yeah.
I know we're late into the show now. All right, let's do it. Ooh, sorry. Barca Academy, proud sponsor of the National Soccer Network and the official academy of FC Barcelona in the United States, designed for boys and girls ages 6 to 18. Barca Academy camps follow and replicate the FC Barcelona game model. Same philosophy used by Barca's professional coaching staff. Right now, you can save $30 on registration by using promo code FCB30. Again, that's FCB30, or scan the QR code on your screen. Find a camp near you at fcbarcelona.us/camps.
In Barca camp, I sing my song Grown on and off of the field. Don't miss the time to register.
Sign up now for Barca camp.
Welcome back in. National Soccer Network 297, getting into our final topic here in the soccer portion. Just wanted to mention this really quickly. I know we'll get into our all sports, the Larkin, Dylan Larkin demanding a trade. We'll talk about the Knicks and the Spurs, also the Tigers sweep over the Rays. Is it an indication of something bigger, or do we have to zoom out a little bit? We'll talk about those two things. Let's get into the USL. 2 in the USLW games of the week. Go ahead and break those down for us very quickly, Ryan. I know Vermont Green is one of the teams we'll be focusing on here. You've actually done games for Vermont Green already, so you have a little bit of experience with that club. But what do we have coming up in terms of our games of the week here on Sports Engine Play and NSN?
Oh yeah, again, we don't have the commentary this week for it, so that's why Neil is not with us today. He is handling USL Championship business here this weekend instead. But yeah, no, the USL 2 game of the week comes up in the North Cal division. San Francisco City FC, who currently is unbeaten on the year, taking on San Francisco Glens SC. And I had a chance to watch San Francisco Glens up close and personal from my laptop screen back on May 13th when they took on San Juan out on the West Coast there. Actually really impressed with San Francisco Glens. I thought they were a really good side. They controlled the ball relatively well, took their chances when they did, scored some bangers in that game. But they're a bit of a low-scoring team in terms of things. They've only scored they haven't scored more than 2 goals in a game. That was only happened in 3 games this year. It's a lot of 1-0, 2-1, 1-0 games, 1-1 games. So they're struggling in terms of that. San Francisco City, they're a little bit of the opposite. They have only scored only 1 goal or less in only 1 game so far this year. They put up 4, 3, 3, and 3 in all the other games. They're a little bit of a buzzsaw. And then when they played against Almaden FC, it took a late winner to win that game. I think in like the 89th minute, I think is when they won it. 90th minute rather. Ronan Radigan scored that goal. But no, San Francisco, both really impressive sides. And it should be a good little San Francisco derby.
So that'll be fun. So again, the USL2, USLW games of the week.
I thought you were going to say something. I'll get into the USLW game of the week.
Oh, sorry. So that's a USL2 game of the week.
USLW game of the week is Vermont Green. They'll be taking on New England Mutiny in the Northeast Division. And if you look at the Northeast Division, also on the USL2 side and the USLW side, they're very competitive, very impressive. Vermont Green, their first ever year in the USLW. They've actually fielded teams before, just simply exhibition games on the women's side. But again, the club is growing so much, and Vermont is becoming a great soccer community over there. But Vermont Green, I had a chance to watch them against AC Connecticut back on Tuesday, where they won 7-0. They won by a touchdown and a PAT against AC Connecticut. But that Vermont Green from the jump was unbelievable, just dictating pace, eliminating chances for AC Connecticut. It took them very hard to break them down. But the most important part about that is their 7 goals, as I mentioned on the broadcast, is they got their goal difference up tied with Hartford Athletic. In the USLW, only the top team goes to the playoffs. So goal difference is a massive thing in the USLW. In the USL2, maybe not as much because 2 teams go rather than 1. But yeah, no, so now they're tied on points and goal difference with Hartford Athletic. But the New England Mutiny on the other side, they're sitting in 3rd place, 3 points behind Vermont. But again, they've had impressive performance as well. 5-0 victory last time out. They drew with Hartford Athletic, and they drew with Vermont Green, actually, back in May 22nd. So interesting matchups on both sides. That's why they're games of the week. But again, really, really interesting stuff coming up here on Saturday.
Yeah, and you talked about Vermont continuing to grow too. You know what's crazy is, you place a pathway team like the USL does in a state that doesn't have any other really professional sports. I mean, they have college sports, but they don't really have a whole lot else. And watch the community respond to it, and they've done so. And I think if we're ranking the hardest places to play in the USL, I imagine Vermont has to be one of them. Just because of how that fan base has responded. I think Detroit's up there. I've talked about Annapolis before. Those are typically the 3 that come to my mind. There are other. Pittsburgh's another good example, how they packed it out for the USLW. But it's funny. You'll typically find that in either the cities or the states that just don't, not that they don't have any other options, but they don't have another top tier, top level professional team. And so I think when it comes to like the USL being like, yeah, we're going to introduce promotion and relegation, think of how that would affect a community like Vermont. I mean, they could very well see their team in their little old state over there on the coast climb all the way to the top rank. So I know that has nothing to do with this matchup necessarily coming up on Saturday.
Good point
but
to mention,
still,
though.
I'm just saying, the community has boomed a lot.
And then another thing to mention, because when I was doing my prep, I found this. Did you know that Vermont Green, both men's and women's side, compete in a trophy called the Maple Cup? Did you know that?
I did. I saw that. I saw that as I was looking up the stuff.
So they take on, if anyone who does not know, their community takes on a team from Canada usually every single year. And so far, they are unbeaten against the Canadian sides. And even though the USLW, this is only the first year with a proper women's side. Again, they've just been fielding exhibition games, which is funny. They still sell out the exhibition games every single time. It's crazy, and it's great to see. But would you drink maple syrup out of a cup after you just won a game?
I mean, I love syrup, but I can't say that I've ever just drank it specifically. But I mean, yeah, heck yeah. I mean, if I was on that emotional high after winning, no.
I said no. I don't know why I would do
that. You won.
That.
Now you got to drink it. You don't have a choice. You won the match. If you didn't want to drink it, you got to throw the match.
Can't win it. I would drink champagne or anything else, but I wouldn't drink syrup, to be honest, out of a cup.
That's a great tradition, though. I like that. I've never yeah, you're right. I hadn't heard of that before, but I saw a little bit on it when I was looking up the games of the week. But that's yeah, man, I mean, I'm just saying, if it's tradition, you got to do it. You don't have a choice to just bow out of it and not do it, So, I mean, just find a way to throw the game. But then you're going to get accused.
So tradition was to jump off a bridge into a water after a game. Would you still have to do it? Tradition.
That'd be a legendary tradition. Yeah, the team has to jump off a bridge.
Wow.
Congrats on winning the game. You have
crazy.
to jump into the Grand River. Have fun. Yeah, well, then you would go undefeated as the other team. You would never lose because everyone would be like, this is stupid. We have to jump off a bridge if we win. Anyways, let's
get into
our all
game
sports
of all time.
Yeah, it would not go great. Ryan, Dylan Larkin wants out.
How about we take the Man City read first?
You want to take a break?
We'll get into Dylan Larkin and Steve Yzerman hating each other.
And then we'll scream and yell and have harsh feelings. All right, let's do that. Man City Soccer Camps, proud sponsor of the National Soccer Network, bringing world-class training inspired by Man City's global football philosophy to players across the United States. Open to boys and girls of all skill levels, these camps focus on technical development, decision-making, and playing the game the City way. Right now, you can save $30 on registration by using promo code MCNSN30. Again, that's MCNSN30. Or scan the QR code on your screen. Find a camp near you at usacamps.mancity.com. I'm Nate Wangler. That's Ryan Glinsky. And we're a little depressed here today on the show. 297 here on the National Soccer Network.
Why are we depressed?
Because Dylan Larkin wants out, man. That's why.
Oh.
Dylan Larkin wants out of Detroit, demanding
I'm
a
good.
trade.
I'm happy.
The players having the power has infected the NHL, and now they think
Thanks,
they can
LeBron.
demand trades and stuff. Thanks, LeBron, for everything. God, what a joke,
I actually
man,
don't
this guy,
think
you know?
Larkin's really in power in this situation.
It's probably not. And the Wings don't have to give him up. But again,
Doesn't
why
have
would
to.
you want to? Why would you want to keep someone around who doesn't want you in the first place? You know, I mean, I think
Hold
we've
on,
all
real
kind of
quick.
been there in the first place.
Just got an interesting ESPN notification. FIFA cancels World Cup tickets for fans who got them for free by mistake. How do you get tickets for free by mistake? Huh. That's kind of weird.
Okay, so clearly there was a glitch in the system. And
FIFA's canceled World Cup tickets issued to about 60 fans who mistakenly got them for free because of a website error.
Yep, there we go. That's what I was thinking. Definitely a website glitch. Damn, that's tough. That is tough.
Man, that
You think
dude,
you-
could you
you think
imagine
you luck
if
out
you
on some
somehow
free-
scored free tickets? Oh my god! And then less than a week before the game start. Oh yeah, you can't go. Hey, props to FIFA. Props to
Tough. Yeah, well, yeah, props to finding the error. I don't know. I would have just allowed him to go anyways. I mean, at that point. But I guess
no,
he's
because you can't
probably turn
paying
around.
customer.
Yeah, I get it.
No,
But
hockey's a
anyways,
real sport, Fabian. It's real. But no,
it's real. Play it. You'll find out. It's
Well-
tough. But anyways.
I get it. Larkin requests a trade, but he doesn't have any power in this situation at all. He's locked up until I think 2031, 2032.
Yep.
Yeah, he technically has a no trade clause, but he can only use it 10 times next year. I know of that. He can only use it 10 times. So, but if you're Steve Yzerman, I know the two don't get along with each other. But if you're Yzerman, yeah, it's sad to see Larkin, want to request a trade, yada yada yada. Hometown kid, University of Michigan guy. Which I was tuning in to Neil's show this morning because I know they know Puck over there, especially on that show because of Belegian. But someone goes, "Is it just because you went to Michigan, Neil? Is that why you're hating on him?" I thought that was kind of funny. But no, when I look at the Larkin situation, I don't think anything is going to get done this summer. Because there's no trade clauses, or there's a no trade clause, and it's not like where if it was a Tarek Skubal situation where he were to request a trade this summer, crap, it's a 1-year deal left. We may have to figure something out here. No, he could end up playing here as long as his contract allows. Because Yzerman's probably like, yeah, I am in the best interest of my hockey club right now, the franchise. Yzerman, all he has to do is just sit there and be like, all right, you want out? It just hasn't worked, whatever. But now I've got to figure out the best situation for my team. I have to figure out the best value that I can get for my team. You don't want to be here, fine. But if a trade comes up and it's the best value that we can get for this team, that's what you got to do as the GM. Because we are not, as the GM of a hockey team or GM of any organization, my best interest is not to please a player who doesn't want to be here anymore, especially when his deal has like 8 years or 5 years, whatever it is left. So I don't think anything's going to get done. I think if you're going to see anything, maybe it's in the season next year or next off season. But again, unless there's a great candidate or a great party candidate for both sides where Larkin's happy and Stevie's happy, but if Stevie doesn't get the return he wants, then Larkin ain't going anywhere.
Yeah. Well, and the problem in my mind is yes, okay, the Wings don't have to deal him. And honestly, the free agent market, in what they can get for someone like Dylan Larkin, not the free agent market, but in a trade, probably is, I would guess, pretty significant because he is one of the top players in his position in the National Hockey League. But
debatable.
This to me is a sign, it is an indication that the Yzer plan didn't work. I understand what he did in the stop before. I understand what he was to the city. We are 8 years in, and we are no further along than what we were when we began this journey with Steve Yzerman once upon a time. And now your greatest player, who, by the way, right, isn't just a really good player. He's born in Michigan, graduated from the University of Michigan, and he's been the poster child of what this rebuild has been supposed to be. And by the way, who I don't think he likes McClellan at all, to be completely honest with you. But that's
I don't think McClellan likes the team, period.
But
McClellan hates the team. I think McClellan hates the team.
I think that Dylan Larkin is, in doing this, you wasted 11 years of his career. He's doing us a favor. You want to spark a rebuild. You want to give the Detroit Red Wings fans something to believe in with the longest playoff drought in the NHL right now. A place that used to call itself Hockey Town, which again we've talked about, does not deserve that tag anymore. Have your best player in one of the top positions in his position in the NHL say that he wants out, and a Michigan man nonetheless. This, if anything, should spark not a rebuild for Yzerman, but it should get Yzerman out of that chair. And here's the component of all this that I really think is the part that might be a little abstract, but I don't think we're talking about nearly as much. Tasting that success with the U.S. men's national team in the Olympics and winning that gold medal. And by the way, in a tournament in which he played exceptionally well. And we saw that out of Dylan Larkin. When you finally have that taste of what it's like to win at a high level and to win a championship and to be on a team that can be in that position, you want to chase that. And it's not that Steve Yzerman hasn't spent the money. I don't think it's necessarily a matter of not spending money or being cheap. They didn't make a deadline trade. You didn't give them any help. Well, I'm sorry, in 24 you didn't. But even this year, I mean,
they got Justin Folk. They used a first rounder on him.
I understand that, but it didn't. Everything else leading up to that, it has been one mess after another.
But hold on. There's always a March collapse with this team. Always a March collapse. They were actually first in March in the East. They were first. Blame goes on both sides for me. Blame on Larkin. Blame on Yzerman. Both are to be blamed in this situation.
But you can't sit here and tell me that Yzerman doesn't need to go.
They both need to go. That's simple.
Okay. Well, yeah.
But you can't just blame everything solely on Steve Yzerman. You have to, at some point, because a March collapse every single year, and then they even added this year at the deadline, who's the captain of this team? Dylan Larkin has every year. Yet there's a March collapse every year. Doesn't that fall a little bit on the leadership on the ice?
Yeah, I mean, but you can be a good leader and still not get the results that you want to see because the organization itself.
What do you mean you can't? You could still be a good leader and not get results. That doesn't make sense.
He's one guy. There's 4 lines. What are you talking about? A general shift is like 60 seconds. Like I understand what you're talking about. He's been there 11 years, my man. It's been 8 years of a rebuild for Steve Yzerman.
But they were first in March. They were first in March.
Conversation of me blaming Tarek Skubal for the Tigers collapse. Like, no, I'm not going to do that.
They were first in March, Nate.
I understand that. No, I understand that, man. But he's one player on the ice. What the point is that no. Like I get it, but like. We can talk about leadership and all that other stuff, but you can exhibit all the qualities of a good leader and still not have people who are coachable or willing to, or the right combinations.
So this year, this past season, when Todd McClellan has constantly come out and questioned this team's toughness, doesn't that go on the captain and that nothing happens? I'm just saying, you can't.
It could be that the captain and him probably don't see eye to eye, and that's another big issue as to why I think it's right that he has to go. He has to go. Both him and Yzerman have to go. I get it, but no, I would say I don't think he respects Tom McClellan. That's the thing Tom
McClellan don't respect him.
Yeah,
this team's not tough. You cannot look at this situation and then think the blame fully goes on Stevie Y or Todd McClellan.
And I don't think you can see that.
Part of it's on Larkin.
I don't think you can see that hit Larkin took in the gold medal game and see him continue playing and say that he's not tough. I mean, I think
every hockey player goes through that hit. Jack Hughes lost teeth, and he
I just
played.
think this team has gotten so used to the disappointment that has been. You're right. Like, terrible finishes to the season, that there is no winning culture in this organization anymore. But that yes, it starts with a player. Sure, it starts with one guy. You have to have the face of your team and your organization. But everybody has to be bought into that vision. Like, you can't expect one man to pull the weight, especially in a sport like hockey too. Like, if we're talking about like the NBA, okay, yeah, fine. I mean, we exist in a world where one guy can really change the entire game, but not in the NHL. Like, this is the reason why the NHL has so much parity the way that it does, is because it is such a team sport, and you only have 60 seconds on the ice. So I get why he would be discouraged, and I get why he would want to get out of there. But I don't know. This whole both sides thing is weird when you talk about.
How is it weird?
8 years, man. He's had 8 years. He's had 8 years to make the right moves and put the right pieces in place.
And they've been in first place. They've been in playoff spots come the run-in to get to the playoffs, and they collapse and fall short every time. It's not all on Stevie, man. Some of it has got to be the players on the ice.
Okay, well then they both got to go. That's
fine.
I mean,
But mind you, this year, Larkin, even strength points in the biggest moments. 1 point in the month of March in even strength. And that's when the collapses are, but it's all on Stevie. Larkin had opportunities to get this team to the playoffs as well, and he didn't do it. But if I'm looking at this whole thing, it's an organization issue. It's rotten. This entire organization is rotten. And from Stevie, from the captain, which you could probably argue is the worst captain in Red Wings history, the coach, any scouting department, because if I have to hear one more damn time about the Tigers and the Red Wings, wait for the kids, wait for the kids, wait for the kids, wait for the kids. Well, I waited for the kids in McGonigal, and then we suck. Then I wait for the kids with the Red Wings, Raymond Sider, we still suck. I'm tired. I hate that is the, if you really want to rage bait me, just tell me wait for the kids when it comes to the Red Wings and the Tigers. That's all you got to do is tell me that. Because it is the stupidest argument I have ever heard in my life. Wait for the kids. Wait for the kids. I waited for the kids when we traded Justin Verlander, JD Martinez, and all those guys. And guess where it got me? Jake Rogers is our best prospect we got from all of that. And he sucks. Cool mustache, but that's really about it. It's stupid. But it's stupid. It's a whole organizational issue. You've got to trade every single player that you can possibly trade for the best value that you can get. Again, I'm not out here being like, let's just trade Verlander for peanuts. Let's trade, we didn't trade Max Scherzer. Yoenis Cespedes for peanuts. No. Get the best value because some of these guys are in some contracts, Larkin included. I know Folk is on a 1-year deal left. Trade him, trade DeBrincat, trade Gibson. You keep Sider and you keep Raymond. Build around those two, and then wait for the kids again. God, hate that. Try to get the number one pick. Screw it. Try to trade Larkin to Toronto. Try to get the number 1 pick. See what happens. But I also think Detroit fans are also a victim of hyping up their own guys because I don't think Larkin is a top line center. I think he's a good second line center. And whenever you see him in the the Olympics and the Four Nations, he was really good because he had really good players around him. And that's when he delivered. He's like Christian Pulisic. I've said this time and time again. Larkin is basically Christian Pulisic, hyped up and knowing true. Everyone thinks he's God when he really isn't. And he's really good when other good players are around him. Just saying.
So maybe he wants to go where good players are. Maybe go win a Stanley Cup. I mean, that's to be honest with you.
You have to admit some blame is on Larkin. You have to admit some blame has to be on Larkin.
Maybe, yeah. I mean,
what do you mean? Maybe he's the captain.
Okay, I get it, but he's one player, Ryan. Like this,
Nate,
he has been solid.
He's the leader of the
reliable.
team, and they constantly collapse in the biggest moments.
I get it, but like you can do as much as you want to do, and and lead in the way that you want to lead, and still have the guys around you not execute and collapse. They've made bad moves over those 8 years. Yes, they got Justin Falk at the trade deadline. I get it, but
they got Gibson,
outside of that, it's
one of the best goaltenders. Still going to do anything. Yeah, some of the blame is on Larkin. It's on both sides.
The fish rots from the head down, and that's where it is with.
We can't sit in this player driven. If everything's player driven in sports, then more blame needs to go on the players. It can't just be on front office and ownership and GMs. If everything's player driven, then it's on the players then.
Player driven in the way of demanding to get out of town. We didn't really see that nearly as much before, but now.
Then why did Larkin sign on the dotted line on his contract extension a couple of years ago? Why did he sign on the dotted line? Why didn't he just walk then?
I don't know, because he believed that it was going to be what it needed to be, and that Yzerman was going to make the moves he needed to in order to get him to where they needed to go. I mean, the organization in so many ways is dead to a lot of Detroit fans, and so this it really doesn't come as a shock to anybody that Dylan Larkin would request this. As a matter of fact, I mean, I think it's just more sad than anything else with being his history in Michigan. But yeah, man, of course, it's not a one-size-fits-all. Of course, there's always gray areas with these things. But if the focus of my conversation is going to be on Dylan Larkin and, you're the captain and blah, 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 you're the one player, blah, blah, you should have... No, okay, it's the same exact logic as blaming Tarek Skubal for the Tigers or blaming...
One's a pitcher, one's a captain of a team. One guy plays once every 5 days. One guy starts every single game. That's completely different. You can't. That's apples and oranges.
Okay, well, in the big moment, like you've referred to,
and
constantly,
Skubal didn't show up in the big moment. He gave up a grand slam.
Okay, all right. No, I listen. Of course, there's gray area.
Come out of the game.
There's always going to be gray area. But you have 8 years. As a GM of a guy who just came from an organization who was able to build something. What's that?
And Yzerman hasn't been good. But to sit here and just blame blame on everyone else except the guy that's on the ice, the captain of this team, is ludicrous.
No, the point is that it should force a rebuild. That's the whole point of what I'm saying. And not like a rebuild of the rebuild where Yzerman is still in charge of everything. I mean like a true actual clearinghouse rebuild. Because it just doesn't work
you can also
anymore.
Thank Ken Holland
Listen,
for some of that.
If you stay in a place for too long, eventually people are going to start to poke holes, and eventually a move is going to have to be made. Like, you just eventually wear out your welcome somewhere, and I don't care who it is. That's why it's so rare to see a single player being one place for their entire career. It just doesn't happen anymore. It just does not happen anymore. That's just how the world of sports works. And for Dylan Larkin. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what this is. He's just been in one place for too long in an organization that has made every excuse under the sun as to why they can't get the job done. And yeah, I mean, is he the captain? Yes. But I mean, it just hasn't worked for whatever combination, for whatever reason, the piecemeal they've done in terms of the coaches on this team. In all the different movement that's happened in his 11 years with the team. I mean, like, there's no consistency with anything. And yeah, you can, of course, you can put partial blame on him. But if you also hate the direction the organization is going, you don't have any trust in the people in the front office, that's a problem. And I don't think anybody has any trust in them, to be completely honest with you. And he's the best player on your team. So of course he wants to get out of there.
You're going to see Dylan Larkin get traded. You're going to see Larkin get traded next offseason, and he will be a second-line center, and he is going to help because he's got good players around him as a second-line center. He's not a first-line center in the NHL.
But you have to admit, it starts with the front office. It starts with the front office, right?
Sure. But it's
agree on this? Okay.
I said the team is rotten. But
I get it. And listen, he's going to get traded from Detroit.
Blame is on both sides.
He's going to get traded away from Detroit, and he's going to do what every other ex-Detroit player that got traded to a new organization does. It's literally bar for bar the Matt Stafford conversation. Like, this is the same talk we were having about Matt Stafford once upon a time. What did everybody say? Well, he had all these tools. He had great defenses. He couldn't get the job done. Couldn't win a playoff game. Couldn't get it done. Where'd he go? The Rams. What did he do? He won a Super Bowl. Okay, so this is the same exact conversation.
He did technically have the pieces, and when you score 3 points in a second half of a playoff game, just saying, that's the Cowboys. He scored 3 points in the second half as an offense.
Yes, and he leaves, and what does he do? Wins a Super Bowl. So I mean,
look,
yeah,
I think we
sometimes
also
it's the right combination.
We can also admit that we are a victim of hyping up our own guys who really aren't that good. Larkin, we're treating this guy as like a top 10 center in the league. He's not. He's a second-line center on a contending team. That's why he does so well in the Four Nations and the Olympics with the USA team, because he's a second liner with really good all-stars around him. That's where he makes his money.
And he scored a game winner and helped him win a gold medal. So, I mean, like I said, in the right combination, in the right room, he could be someone who could help
But you
a
gotta
team
admit,
win a Stanley Cup.
the whole
easily.
organization is rotten. The whole organization.
Yes, of course.
From the players
Yes,
on the ice to the coaches
Yes.
to the front office,
Yes.
it's all rotten.
Yes. 100%, bar for bar. That's
All right,
why
just
we're
making
having this
sure
conversation.
Larkin doesn't escape this, because Larkin has had chances to get this team to the playoffs and he hasn't. So just making sure.
I think it's easy. I think it's easy to key it. Also, I think it's easy to just rage bait the Detroit sports fan, the general sports fan, who's just so
it is
so
easily.
far into
They get so insensitive.
drinking the Kool-Aid that they're going to go after the player before they go after the organization, because that's just how Detroit is, right? We just love
No,
smelling our
because
own.
all Tigers fans are blaming the Illiches. That's what everyone blames. It's easy to blame the ownership, yet the ownership and the GM aren't the ones out there making the plays. Remember, this team was first in the East in the month of March. Remember that with the games in hand. Remember that.
Right.
And there's a collapse. Thanks, Captain.
Let's take a break here on Inside the Game. We come back. We'll talk a little bit about, I don't know, what do you want to talk about, Ryan? You want to talk about Knicks and Spurs?
Oh, yeah, whatever. Whatever,
all right.
Whatever you want.
Let's do that on the other side, right here on Inside the Game.
Experience the thrill of the game like never before with NSN's Game Rewind. Dive into full match commentaries enhanced with cutting-edge dynamic graphics, letting you relive the highs and lows of your favorite matches in astonishing detail. Whether it's a championship win or a legendary play, NSN Game Rewind bridges the past and future with a broadcast experience designed to captivate. Call 586-304-4405 and start watching today.
Inside the Game, here in hour number 2 on the National Soccer Network, 297.
Do you watch college softball?
From time to time. I dabble.
I didn't know White Chocolate's daughter was on Texas Tech.
You didn't see all the drama with Florida?
No, I don't.
And everything going on there?
Oh, she plays for Florida?
No, well, so she did play for Florida, which is obviously where he went to college, won a national championship. And so was playing there. And I don't know what led to, I'm sure I could probably just Google what the drama is in front of me. But there was some sort of drama with Florida while his daughter was playing softball there. So she ended up transferring out to Texas Tech. And they met up in the, I think it was the regionals or whatever this year. She ends up hitting 2 home runs. I think she got hit by 5 pitches across 2 games.
Oh, wow.
Which, by the way, at that point, that's not a mistake. Like I heard someone be like, "Whoa, they weren't trying to hit." Like, come on, like, we don't. That's idiotic. You don't get hit 5 times in 2 games by a mistake. That's not a mistake. Okay. But yeah, hit 2 home runs in an elimination game. They beat Florida, and then Florida refused to come out and shake hands after the game. They just waved and walked off and didn't come back out. So Texas Tech was like having their little celebration on the field. And it's funny because Jason Williams actually got interviewed by, I think it was Barstool. No, it was Pat McAfee that interviewed him. And he's essentially, Jason Williams is just like, yeah, I'm not Florida anything anymore. He goes, unless my daughter goes back and plays there, he goes, I could care less about Florida. And I'm like, well, that's some big words for a guy that won a national championship there. But I mean, that's so typical Florida. Like you plunk the same player five times in 2 games. You don't shake hands. You make excuses. It's like, Florida never ceases to amaze me sometimes, and like it's mostly the Gators too. Like I don't see Florida State doing any of this stuff. I don't mean to spark like a rivalry debate here, but it's like it's always Florida. It's either Florida or LSU. That one of them are up to something skeezy every now and again. But I don't know. I don't like.
Yeah, no, I was just wondering because
Not a
Fabian
fan.
was talking about some white chocolate daughter hitting a home run. I was like, Jason Williams? And then Kevin comes
Yeah,
in and
she's the
clears
real
things
deal.
up. So, yeah, no, I didn't know because I don't follow the College World Series in softball or baseball. So yeah, no, I was just interested in what was going on.
Yeah, no, it was weird, and like he got like thrown out of the game initially, and then brought back. Yeah, it was crazy. But what
Florida
the
State
most
has had
fun.
some interesting stuff over the years, by the way. Shout out Jameis
By the
Winston.
way, best highlight mixtape you'll ever watch in your life. If you get the chance to watch Jason Williams mixtape, it's unbelievable. Some of his passes,
Better
the
than
elbow
Favout Austin?
pass. The no, only because of the music. That song is synonymous with whatever that dubstep song is that's played behind the
Favout
video
Austin?
of him. Yeah. It's great. It's
Not. It's
just
not. Yeah, I was gonna
hearing
say. I
it,
don't think
like-
it's. It is Hell and Back. That's the name of it by
Yep.
Baker.
Yep. Yeah. So, how many views? I'm curious as to how many views that has on 26.5 million views. Oh my God, man. That has to be the most popular highlight mixtape ever. By the way, we're going to get to question of the day here in about 4 minutes. So may as well burn these next 4 minutes, maybe with a few comments or something else. So I'll look up what we got. But yeah, 26.5 million views for a highlight mixtape. And now everybody has mixtapes now. Everybody's just,
I
everybody's
know
got
Kevin's
one.
still in our chat. All I will say is, Kevin, is don't let the Tigers get hot, man. We're coming. Tigers are coming. Then we're gonna
got
get Ivory Coast has a great team physically. They have monsters versus France. That's right. Ivory Coast did win against France last night, I'm pretty sure, in a friendly. So
Yeah, I saw
Fabian,
that.
that's why I say
Yep.
Konate sucks. Watch what he did in that game. Konate's horrible, dude. You don't want him. He's not good.
Yeah. Yep, that's fair. Let's you know what? Let's just do it now. Let's get into question of the day. Why not?
Okay. Really threw me off guard there. Let me get it set
Sorry.
up here. Anyway,
Sorry.
question of the day brought to you by Salt Athletic, an official sponsor of us here at the National Soccer Network. Where the heck is it? Use promo code NSN15. I don't even know where it is. Use promo code NSN15, save 50% off. Scan a QR code that I would show up on the screen. Or visit saltathletic.com today. Dan Housen cursed the Nuns. No, the Nuns are going to say a whole bunch of Hail Marys, so they'll be good. Don't you worry. The Nuns have got our backs. Anyway, here's question of the day: will Kirby Joseph ever play football again? I will say no.
Yeah, it's really hard for me to imagine him getting back and playing. I mean, now you got me thinking about what a potential bounce back would look like for him. But no,
he
I mean,
ain't coming back. I'll tell you
tend
that right
to-
now. There's no way.
I tend to not think so as well.
There's no way you can't have a no timetable after a dude who got hurt in the fall and we are in June. There's no timetable for him. What do you mean there's no timetable? That means something's really messed up.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. And everyone's like, oh, he deserves it. He's trying to hurt players all the time. So then what happened to the players that were diving at the knees and ankles of Megatron? Do those players get karma too? No, it's stupid. It's a football play.
Yeah. No, it is a football play. People who talk about that stuff, they don't have any clue. Also, I mean, I see the same thing about like cut blocking. Like that's a part of the game. That's never been an issue, but yet for some reason, like now it's a problem. Like no,
Because the Lions are good and
it's-
they just don't
yeah.
want. It's like once a team is so
Exactly.
bad for so long, you just want them to keep staying bad.
Yeah. Well, and the lingering knee issue is a problem. I mean, it's been something that's plagued the tail end of his career, and you might get him back, but the issue is if you get him back, you're not going to get the best version of him. That's
No,
what I'm
you're
so
not.
hesitant about when you talk about someone like Kirby Joseph and what he's going to be able to provide. Because, yeah, I mean, just having a body out there is one thing, but not everybody comes back from injuries like that at 100% ready to perform. Like the fact that Aiden Hutchinson was able to come back in the time that he did and still be productive and still be someone that we are not willing to give up, even to go after someone like a Myles Garrett. You know, like people were talking about, well, why couldn't the Lions put together a package to go get him? Well, you want to give up Hutch to do that? Like, I personally, I would not. But not everybody bounces back from knee injuries in the same way that Aiden Hutchinson does. And in some of these other players, if it's nagging and it's ongoing and there's no timetable and we don't know what it looks like, yeah, that tells me that we're at a stalemate. We're at a standstill in terms of the progress that's being made after this injury. So why would I be led to believe that we're going to get the same version, or at least anything close to what we got from Kirby Joseph before? It's nonsense. It's nonsensical. Let me put it this way. If he does play, he doesn't play at the same level that he used to. Whatever it is, we're not going to get the version of Kirby Joseph that we want. That's what's hard.
I don't think so either, and especially with Brian Branch not coming back until Thanksgiving, that's going to be an issue in terms of our safeties. And when we didn't have our safeties in there, we were cooked. I just think Kirby Joseph, because the way that he plays is like, I don't think he's going to be able to play that way anymore. I know that if they were to, again, I'm sure they will probably keep him this year, but I know if you cut him, you're only giving him $13 million because it's not a really guaranteed money contract, I guess, if that makes sense. So you can cut him next offseason. You don't have to give up a ton of money. So I guess that's always an option when it comes to this situation. So I'm interested in seeing what they do, but I just don't think we're going to ever get it back. Fabian, we kind of didn't even give any predictions. What about an honest prediction on tomorrow's game, USA versus Germany? Nate, go.
I'll flip the script this time around. I'll give Germany the edge. I'll say 3-2. They end up beating the United States. 1-goal game. I do think the U.S. scores, but I'll say 1 goal. I'll give it to Germany here.
I will say Germany wins it 3-1, and I'm going to say Gio Reyna is going to score a goal.
Gio's going to score a goal.
Yeah.
Right.
As the only thing I truly want to see is if we play 3 at the back tomorrow. If we play 3 at the back tomorrow, and it shows that we care a little bit and we don't get smoked, that's all I'm looking for tomorrow. Because, again, Iraq tied Spain yesterday. Ivory Coast beat France. Mexico beat Serbia 5-1 yesterday. So these things truly do not matter to me at all. China already won their game today against Singapore. Is Hong Kong in China?
It's inside the boundaries of China, but it's not governed by the Chinese Communist
Okay, so
Party,
that makes sense then. I was like,
yeah.
Hong Kong beat Mongolia 2-0 today. I'm like, isn't Hong Kong a city inside China?
Yeah. Yep. It's like, I mean, I think it's like I forget what the legal terminology is. It's its own thing, but yes, it's inside of like the China itself. Yeah.
Oh, Nate. Canada plays Ireland today.
Ooh, what time is that game on?
7:30 today. Fabian thinks 2-1 Germany. Dave thinks 3-3. 3-3?
Wow. You're giving us 3 goals? All right, Dave. I see you. Hey, man.
As long as you don't come home too soon, that's all that matters. Hey, we do have a Scottish Premiership champion on our side. So all that matters.
And we got Kai Havertz filling our brains with lies. I think he's just trying to soften us up, Brian.
In the bunch. I'll tell you that.
In hindsight, I actually think this is just an effort to soften us up. I think that's what it is. I think he's trying to fill us with compliments and good feelings, and then be like, nope, and then rip it right away tomorrow. So we'll see what happens. Listen, I just don't want to see us get smacked around. I want to see us look competitive, and then wherever the chips fall in the World Cup, they fall. Like, typically just getting in is the biggest thing. That's been taken care of. Like, we're hosting, we're here. And so now it's just a matter of going out and doing the damn thing. I'm just happy to, we can finally put the talking away and the predictions and all that other stuff and just watch him freaking play, man. I'm just ready for it.
Yes, Troy Parrott. Yes, what a god he was. I won't say exactly what you said, Fabian, but yeah, Troy Parrott. Yeah.
But that'll wrap up episode 297 here on Inside the Game. As always, listen, we appreciate all you guys who come back and drop comments. Give us a follow on social media, Sports Nation, that's sports with a Z. Ryan posting a lot of videos up on there.
No,
as
that's
well
not
as
how
national.
Thanos died, Fabian. Stop saying that.
Is he
not
trying to
how he
spoil
died.
things right now?
Did not happen.
I promise. Hey, I'll promise I'll get on that. All right. So to all the people that are in shock and awe that I've never seen it before, I promise I will get that done for you guys, and I'll report on my findings. But that'll wrap things up here on Inside the Game. We will talk to you guys coming up on Monday, 298, as we get ready to rock and roll with the World
Cup week.
Yes, sir. We'll talk then here on Inside the Game.
We'll be right back.